You said what? No, it's just recording. Okay, guys, I know some of you have not downloaded Photoshop all the way. I apologize. We do need to start. But I will be recording this so you guys can look back at this later down the road and just look at the steps again. So yeah, welcome to the astrophotography processing workshop. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Andrew. I'm the astrophotography officer for UAS. And yeah, today we're going to be processing a photo. Oh, you can barely see it here, but it's a photo of Messier 106. And the final product should look something like this. Hopefully, we can get to that. So, just to get started, your downloaded Messier 106 file, just drag that right into Photoshop. And you should have a pop-out window, something like this. I'll take a few seconds and just wait for the people that do have it open to open it up. Yes. I tried doing that. Are you guys good with no lights? Or you want to try? Maybe turn the lights off. He's trying. We're trying. Wait, just turn them off. It's fine. Oh, that's too off.
That's bad. Oh, here.
Is there another setting? Oh, wait, that's good.
Do the opposite of that.
Opposite.
Yeah,
This one. Keep those off.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
that's good.
This works.
See that?
Wait, you guys can totally see that.
Works with all the lights. Yeah.
Ah.
Which would be better?
No. Yeah.
All right, I don't think we could be, I don't think we could be picky right now. I think this is good. All right. Okay. Thank you, Will. Oh, this is gonna be a good workshop, guys. Okay. So uh just by show of hands, whoever has Photoshop open, are you guys here? Okay, great. Awesome. So just to make sure that all of our Photoshops looks the same, we're gonna go over to the top right here, go to Window, Workspace, and then press on Essentials. I'll do it again. So Window, Workspace, and Essentials. And this just basically changes the layout of all Photoshop just so we're looking at the same thing. All the tools are located in the same area, so on and so forth. Okay, great. So once we're here, we're gonna get started on our first tool, which actually, thank you. So the first tool that we're gonna be looking at on the paper here is the Levels tool, which when we go over here to the Adjustments tab, you should kind of see a histogram looking figure. It might not say levels for you, but the figure of the histogram will be there. So just press on this this button right here, and now we've created a layer for levels. So what this tool does is allows us to kind of shape the histogram of this image, allows us to stretch it to increase the highlights, shadows, or midtones. The white slider right here is for the highlights. The dark slider right here is for the shadows, and this is for the midtones. So just to begin for this image, I just want to lighten it up just a bit so we can kind of see what we're looking at. Just like that. I'm only going to be touching the highlight slider. I don't need to do anything else just for now. Um, yeah. So now we're kind of looking at our image right here, and it's quite a bit cyan, kind of greenish, bluish, which that's not really the color space. So we got to fix that. So if we go over to this left panel right here and kind of go down to the eyedropper tool, if you guys right click on this eyedropper tool, there should be a tool called the color sampler tool. I'll keep that up for just a second so everyone knows where that is. And once you do find it, do select it. I'll select it in just 1 second. Okay. Hopefully everyone found it. So what the color sampler tool does, it allows us to look at the pixel values for each channel for red, blue, and green for any point within our image. So what I want to do is select a point for where I know it's just deep space. It's supposed to be either black or gray. So I say this is a pretty good spot right here, and I'll left click. And it drops a point right there labeled as 1. And you guys should see an info tab kind of pop up to the right that tells you these values for the red, green, and blue channels right here. And we're also going to do a second dot on just a random highlighted source for something that we know is supposed to be supposedly white. So let's say, let's go with this star right here. Why not? So I zoomed in, make sure it's in the middle of the star, click it right there. I know that I got the center of the star and that it looks right because the values are maxed out at 255, which means this pixel value is all white. There's no other colors, it's just white. Is everyone still with me? Any questions so far? Awesome. Cool. So, next we're gonna go back over to our adjustments. And like I showed you guys before, we're gonna select another levels layer. As you can see, gives me a second levels layer right there. And what we want to do here now is to adjust the individual color channels to make sure that the first point's values are all equal to each other, but not high enough to be white. I'll show you what I mean right now. So we're going to go over to the place that says RGB, click on that, and then select red. Actually, we're going to keep red normal actually, because as you see here, red is the lowest value. So usually whenever I see the lowest value, I keep that as I just keep that is. So we're gonna go to the green channel now. And with the shadows slider, I'm gonna slide this just a little bit down until I see that 36 right there for the green channel. You can kind of see how the numbers change as I move this slider. And it's going to be the same idea with the blue channel too. Just the same thing. Yes, E will. I did not because all it does, it changes the value of the pixel and it's already the lowest one out of the 3. So I decided not to change it. But that's all personal preference. You can also increase it along with the other ones. As long as it's, I say, below 100 and all equal to each other, it should be good. And so now I'm doing the same with the blue. And we got that 36. And now, as you can see, this looks a lot better. There's no green. It's relatively grayish, blackish. Yeah. Is there any questions so far? Any issues? Any confusions? Okay. Is anyone still working on this step for fixing up the colors? Just by a show of hands. Is anyone still working on it? Like this is all you're still working on it? Okay. I'll give like a little 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure that everyone has it covered. If you guys have any questions, I can come over to you and help you out. But yeah. Yes. Let me come over to you. Yeah. Yeah, of course. And then okay. Yeah, of course. Only for now.
She also gives like 4%. Damn it. I'll give you guys 1 more minute. Okay, hopefully everyone's in the same spot as I am. Okay. So the next tool that we will be going over is curves. So again, we're gonna go right back to the adjustments slide right here. And right next to the levels, you're gonna see this kind of this S excuse me, this S-shaped curve that I don't know if it's labeled, but this symbol right here. We're just gonna click on that. And you should be prompted with a window that looks something like this. And hopefully you guys downloaded the curves from the doc. If not, you can just do it artificially, but it will be slightly harder. How to actually import the curves I was talking about. You're going to want to go over to these 3 lines to the right over here, and then press on Load Curves Present. I'll keep that up for just a second to make sure everyone knows where it is. And then from there, you're going to want to open up the curves folder that I told you about. And usually I would say to, import them all individually, but the only one that we will be using right now is the 100 value one. So just click on that and then press open. I'm not going to press on that because I've already imported it, but actually, let's see what happens. Okay. Now you see the preset curve already went into play, and it looks like this right here. Usually, if you wanted to, you can also play around with these values, kind of move them up and down, see what happens, but that's for a later time. We're just gonna stick with the presets that we have here. So now after we have this, you kind of see the image that we have here is quite bright now. We gotta lower the shadows to make it a bit darker. So we're gonna go back to our adjustments, and use the levels tool again. Very handy dandy levels. And all we're going to do here is use this shadow slider right here and move it all the way down. Also, just to clarify, if you guys are unfamiliar of what you're really looking at here, all of the white within the histogram, that's the data of your image. So usually what I recommend when editing astrophotography, never clip over that data because you're actually removing hours of exposure that you don't want to remove. So usually I just kind of stay just a little bit before that edge right there, just so we keep all the data. Let's just give everyone 1 minute. Make sure everyone's with us. Any questions, confusions? Awesome. Okay. And usually what I like doing with this, because this kind of brings out some of the detail within the image, I usually do this for a second time. So just again, click on the adjustments with the curves and go to your presets all the way down to the ArcSine H100. And then again, use the levels tool to just slightly go down. Here, I'm going to actually clip just a little bit of the data off because it's very small amount and I think it'll look better for the image. I'll give everyone just a couple minutes just to experiment with it, just to make sure you guys are all with us. I think it's just your screen. Mine also looks like that on my screen. I think it just looks darker on this. Oh, yeah. Why not? It's good.
Is it actually biased?
Oh. I'll go. Was it team like
Oh, I had
It's okay, right, by the way. It'll be fixed because I'm not gonna lie, that step is very safety for everything to happen. Like I did a rerun for this, and mine was red sometimes, and sometimes it was green, but it would be removed later. Yeah. That's why. That's the one thing I had to wait for. Looks really good. That's great. A little tip, actually, you might want to push back the shadows a little bit. This one you see. So you kind of you see how I mean with the cutting. So you push it a little this time. Like yeah, that's perfect. It's okay if it looks better. We're gonna tweak that. Okay, great. I think everyone's in the same spot right now, for the most part. So now we're gonna use this one shortcut that all astrophotographers love. It's my favorite. It's listed right here. So basically what this does, it copies all your visible layers and flattens it and then makes it a new layer. You're gonna see what it does when you press on it.
So for Macs, do Command Shift Option E, and for Windows, do Control Shift Alt E. Only do that once. And when you guys do that, hopefully I can do it. There we go. When you guys press that, you should see another layer that, from what you guys were viewing before, created kind of like a screenshot. Did anyone was not able to do that? Awesome. Cool. Okay. So, so this is for the people that do need to do this. I think I did mine to where I don't need to, but do another levels layer. And then while looking at your number one values right here, depending on your guys' values, this is where you guys are gonna have to take your knowledge and kind of figure this out based on your own image. Adjust either the shadow slider or the highlight slider to make those values within the 30s. If it's already within the 30s, you're good. If not, then just adjust it based on if you need to increase it or decrease it. Give just a second for that. I'll give you guys another minute or two. All right, do you guys need help?
Suddenly it's not my job.
Yes. Stop.
So like that. Yeah. Why is it all? Yeah. Oh, you can't see anything.
We're about to
Wait,
fix
what
that.
happened?
We're kind of calibrating it based off of
Look,
what we just
all
saw.
of it.
Yeah.
There. Still. Still butt.
Yes.
You adjusted it more. Oh, wait, why is that in the channel? Wait, I don't know. I don't know. Wait. Well, I don't think so. Wait, yeah, don't.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with just we wanted to keep these pinks kind of in it, try to not to shade it as like that. And then,
Yeah.
don't get my leaf.
Okay, I'm gonna go like save. Okay.
And then do the shortcut again.
Some of it does already.
And make it bigger, like for the.
Well, okay.
Fancy as much as you can.
Yeah, just delete all that shit. All the way back. Yeah. This one down there. Yeah. Keep going, keep going. That's back when that was going. So that should be the.
Yeah, I think it's just the same there.
Now do the. Shift option.
Yeah, that's
I think that is.
Sorry. It's okay, practice the truck. Okay, do the shortcut. Okay, and then the full.
Okay, so that's only.
And then, yeah, just lower the blues. We're actually gonna go on to that right now to fix up the colors. Since we're on that, I'll go over it right now. That looks great, by the way. Okay. We're gonna move on to kind of the next little calibration step. We're gonna make another adjustment with another levels tool. This is like one of the most important tools. We use it a lot in astrophotography. So we're gonna make another levels layer. And my image with my counts look nearly the same. So, and I kind of like how it looks. You don't have to, for this step, you don't really have to match these numbers, but just kind of eyeball it for changing each red, green, and blue channel to make your background gray. Just, it's okay if the galaxy is a little bit colored, but just make sure that background, all of this is a form of gray, even if those values are a little off, just like here. So I'll give you guys some time to do that for a minute or two. It's up to you. Just don't clip your data. Like don't take off data like how I was saying before, like this. Don't do that. I'm good, so I'm gonna leave mine as B. This is great. You don't want to do anything. You're good. That looks better than mine. You're good. That looks great. Sorry. Okay. This is all recorded, so yeah. Hopefully. We're good. Oh, wait, that looks great. Yeah, that looks great. Wait.
When I did nothing. Oh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna run out of when it shows time to save? I heard nothing to Were you hypnotized?
That was great.
That's
it.
I'm 68, but I'm.
Well, do it however you like. That's the idea. Yes. So. It was really fun. I don't think I'm on it.
I think that's
Yeah, you kind of live these and
my life is resting again.
I'll tell you right now. Okay, actually, this is good. See CR down here. Right here, but if you want the.
It's usually like well, they're 70, so you can't do it in under. You can do it in all of those.
For this,
Like,
just
really don't mess up, but they're 70 words. No, they're
levels.
if there were 70 words, you have to get it right on camera.
Yeah, of course.
When you have 70.
I'll give it one more minute.
What's your try? Wow. The actual world?
Why not spot?
Because cloud is every.
That's it.
Stare
Yo.
Yeah, it's like stare is like the perfect.
So just show you over here. What I mean by clipping the data is that if you look at here for the shadow slider, if I go over this area, it's actually deleting all of the data from this on point to the left. It's gone, permanently deleted. And that's not what we want. That's what I mean by clipping the data.
What about the what? This part? This one's fine. Yeah, yeah, this is fine. Just try not to clip like the big portions, like from here on to the left. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully everyone's with us. We're gonna continue. I don't know what Sage did. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same command as what we did before with the one over there, just to take a screenshot of the data or of whatever we're looking at currently. So Command Option Shift E. And as you can see, it created another layer down here for me. And now I'm gonna introduce one it's more of like one of the more important tools for just refining your image, and it's called the camera raw filter. For the sheet that I gave you guys earlier, it should be the very last one at the bottom on the back side. I'm going to go over it all, but it is on there just for your reference. To actually open the camera raw filter, we're going to go to our Photoshop to the top, press on filter, and you'll see right here that says camera raw filter. I'm going to keep that up just for a second so everyone can find it. If anyone has questions, take some water. Awesome. Hopefully everyone found it. Now just click on camera raw filter and you should be prompted with this new window with a bunch of sliders and a bunch of adjustments. It's kind of overwhelming. If you guys edited your own photos with like, for example, like your Apple photos and stuff, these sliders will be very, very familiar. I guess I'll go over a few of them. I'll go over the more important ones in just a second, but depending on your image, this kind of just now depends on you guys. You guys can experiment with your own image and stuff. The exposure just changes the histogram right over here and just changes how far up or down it is. For my image, I think I'm just gonna keep it the same. For contrast, it makes the light from like your highlights and your shadows more distinct between each other. So when I increase this, you're actually going to see the sky in the back is going to be a bit darker, while the galaxies look way more prominent. So I'm actually going to increase this quite a bit because it looks pretty good, in my opinion. And the next slider is highlights, which all that does, it changes how bright your highlights are within the image. That's all it does. So if I max this out, you're going to see the cores of the galaxies and the stars are going to be really blown out and really bright. It's not exactly what we want, but we do want it to be glowing pretty brightly. So we'll increase this just a little bit, but not enough to where it takes off data from the image right here. This is where I'm looking, by the way, usually, because that's the main galaxy of the image. Next is the shadows, which it's the opposite of highlights. It just adjusts the shadows. So I'm gonna decrease this just a little bit. So it's not too important. It does darken your background, but the one that does darken the background the most is this blacks tool right here. I don't suggest touching the whites because it's a very dangerous tool. It usually messes up your image. I know that from experience. So I wouldn't touch that. For blacks, I would just turn this down just a little bit. And now we kind of see a more darker, deep space black right here. Now, here are the fun ones. Or actually, we're going to skip the color section right here. We're going to skip that. And we're going to go down to effects. We'll come back to colors. So with effects, honestly, this is just something for you guys to experiment with. It's kind of just says it in the name based on what it does. So if you want more texture, more detail, I could zoom in on this. You can kind of see more grain and detail within the photo. Yes, Maya. It might be a 2023 issue. Don't don't touch those. Those are bad. Okay. I'll come over in just a sec. But when you're using these effects tools, it introduces noise to your image. So I do highly suggest not to overuse these. Like even 33 right here is a bit much because as you see, I don't know if you can see it here, not really, but probably on your own screen, you could see the graininess of your image start to form when you increase that slider. So usually I just do it up to like 10. Clarity, this kind of brings out the galaxy just a little bit, so go up to 10 too. And one of the more important tools here is the dehazing. So if, for example, your sky was still green, if you couldn't fix that, if it's still blue or any other color, you just turn this and it turns that black, that color to kind of a blackish deep space color. I'll turn mine just a little bit. Why not? Before I continue, are there any questions, any confusions, anything at all? All right, cool. So now my favorite part, this is a really fun part. I gave you guys an image of M106. If you guys all have that with you guys right now. What we're gonna do is by looking at the colors within that image, you're gonna color grade your photo to match the colors of that image. So I don't have the photo with me, but it's okay. I'll just hopefully do it from memory. I wouldn't suggest going too strong with these, but I would just move this. The slider right here, by the way, this is the intensity. So I'm not going to make it too intense. I'm just going to put it right here. And this is the color. So now you could spin it around and kind of just choose the color that you think looks similar. I'm trying to remember the image from my head right now, and I think it looks something similar to that. And then you can also adjust this slider based on what you think. This kind of just adjusts how strong or like the lightness or brightness of the midtones. And now again, you're just going to do the same thing. This is all experimenting. Everyone's photo is going to look different, so don't be afraid if it does look different. For the highlights, I do remember there was a few red highlights, but also I think the core was yellow. So I think I'm gonna just make this a good yellow so the core looks quite nice. And then just adjusting it based on what I think looks good. There is no right or wrong. It's just whatever you guys think looks good. And then with the shadows, this does change the color of the background. So I actually don't suggest changing it unless you still, for some reason, have color to your deep space. Whatever color you have on this color wheel right here, look at the color. So for example, if your deep space was red, go to the opposite side of the wheel and set your shadows to that color. And what that does, it'll kind of cancel out that red color. That's the neat thing about the color wheel. So yeah, I'll give you guys well, it's almost about time to end. If you guys want to go over by 10 minutes, feel free to stay. I'll stay here and do it for 10 minutes more. But I'll give you guys 2 to 3 minutes just to experiment with that, and then I guess I'll go on to the last part just with the colors. Also walk around if you guys have any questions, concerns. Look good? Yes, looks great. What do I do? I'll tell you in 3 minutes. Actually, just go to the color step and then adjust the saturation. So, all right. You don't have to touch that. It's okay. Just go to what the basic. I should be able to. Yeah, and then you can just adjust this too. And then you can also use the color mixer too if you want.
What's it called?
Color mixer just adjusts each color channel or each color that you want individually. Yeah, go crazy. How's it going? That's actually pretty good. That's really good. I will say, I think you did clip some of the data, but overall, it's quite good. Is this your first time editing? This is really good for your first time. This is great.
See the difference?
Thank you. Oh wow, this looks great. This is great. Very good. So after you do that, that's why I made a separate filter. You can't go back to it. I just would suggest do that cut again.
It's slightly.
And then now you can do another camera. Just in case if you mess something up, you can always just make it. That's kind of like a backup. That looks great. That looks perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Very good. That's actually great. Very good. How's it going? We're good. I didn't get over here for a while. Okay, you gotta know. That's okay. Thank you for coming.
So then I just started, and we don't.
It's okay. This is important if you want to go over it. I got lost a step. I'm not gonna lie, last year's very advanced.
No,
I
let me
did that on accident.
I know everyone needs to be at different places, everything, so
I'll send it to you.
I'll go through the next step pretty quickly. The next two, you said what? Yeah. So now when you guys are over here, don't press OK just yet, but now you can adjust the vibrance and saturation. So kind of saturation makes my deep space just a little orange. I think actually I'm going to keep it like this, have a negative and like this. It's just all personal preference, whatever looks best. And then also adjust. You can adjust the temperature if you want based on how your image looks, but you don't have to. Color mixer. So what color mixer does is that for each color within your photo, it adjusts. You could decide on if you want to change that color to look something different, either for like reds to be more pink or orange, and just so on and so forth for the other colors, and also with saturation to make it more colorful, and then luminance with just making it brighter. When you do increase this one, it does make it more white, but and loses its color. But if it's like the core of a galaxy or something, I would suggest doing it. So for me, probably want to bring out the blues just a little bit. Just experimenting with it right now, whatever looks good. They're very small adjustments. Yeah. I think this looks good for me. You guys can experiment with those settings for a couple minutes. Yeah. Couple minutes and then I'll do one more kind of tool that's very quick, but it kind of just makes the image complete and look pretty cool. I think actually everyone did it. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the final step, guys. So you can just press OK. And now you have your layer. And now this is by far one of my favorite steps because it does something magical, I will say. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that same shortcut we did before, just to make another layer. So Command Shift Option E. Yeah. So now I have made another layer right here. And now I'm going to introduce to you guys, I think it should be on the sheet too. Yeah, the high pass filter. So where the location is of this high pass filter is filters, other, and high pass. I'm gonna keep this up because it's kind of a weird location. But basically what this filter does is that you're able to bring out the structure within within the galaxies uh and just make them more prominent, more just visually pleasing, I guess. You're gonna see what I mean in just a second. Hopefully everyone found it. Yeah, so click on high pass. And now it's gonna look really white. And what I'm looking for here, when I'm looking at this, I'm gonna move this to the side. When I'm adjusting this slider, because when you touch this or when you use this filter, it introduces a lot of noise. You do not want to overuse this. So what I'm looking for when I'm doing this, I'm gonna increase it just a little bit. If you guys look right here, you can see that structure within the galaxy, but we don't want to have it that prominent. So I'm gonna just reduce it until I could barely see it, but just enough to where I know it's gonna show in our final image. Something like that. You can see it right there. I'll give you guys a minute to do that.
No, look right there.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see on here. Hope you guys got the idea with that. After you choose a good value for what you want, just press OK. And now, while having this layer selected, just make sure this is blue right here on the layer we have for the high pass. We're going to go over to this drop-down menu right here that says normal. And we're going to make this layer an overlay layer. Boom. And now, hopefully, as you can see within your image, it really brings out that structure within the galaxy. It looks pretty good. It does introduce a little bit of noise to the rest of the image. Um, I can, that's basically the end of it. Do you guys want to know how to mask it so there's no noise? Do you guys want to know that right now? Okay, cool. Why not? We all have time. Awesome. Okay, so to make this our final product, to make sure, because if I zoom in here, or you won't be able to see it, but if you zoom in on your own image, you will see a bit of grain from this layer. So what we're going to want to do here is that as you see at this bottom right here, you're going to see a box with a circle in it. While having the layer from the high pass filter selected, you're going to want to select this this box with the circle. So after you select that, you should see that a white box appeared with a little chain icon next to your high pass filter. Do all of y'all see that for people that are with me? Awesome. Cool. Okay. Cool. So now having this box selected, make sure you press on that white box. Let me see if I remember. Yeah. I think it's Control I for Windows or Command I for Mac. You're gonna want to press on that, and that inverts it to where nothing from the high pass filter is actually being shown. Does all of your boxes look black? Awesome. Amazing. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go over to this left area over here, and we're going to go to the brush tool. Nice handy dandy brush tool. And where's my colors? Okay. So after selecting the brush tool, you're going to want to go over down to your colors to the bottom left over there and just make the color white. After clicking right here and then just dragging the little circle all the way to the top left right there. And then pressing OK. All y'all with me? Yes. From the what? Are you here with this? Okay. So after clicking on the brush tool, it doesn't show right here because I'm in this, but you're gonna want to select the square right here, and you're gonna be prompted with this window. Did you get there?
Yeah.
Okay, and then just drag it all the way to the top left so it's white. Like that little dot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All y'all with me? We're good? Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna press OK. And let's see if I remember how to do this. Gonna go back to this top tool right here. Is it command? It's okay. We don't have to do that. Okay, go back to the brush tool and make sure this is selected right here. And using your brush tool, make it as big as you want. I'm gonna just increase it just by a little bit. I'm almost done, Sage. Don't worry. And for the areas that you want the high pass filter to be implemented on, just highlight it. And you're going to see that it's going to be implemented right on the galaxy or wherever you highlight it. Doing it here. I'll do it down here. Oh boy. Right here. And just anywhere that you want it. Yes, you will.
You click brush and then what do you highlight?
Just make sure this is this is highlighted, right? And then using the brush tool, just go over your image and you're going to see the parts that use the brush on. It's not going to be white, but you're actually kind of using the brush tool to select the areas you want that layer to be affected by, if that makes sense. I can help you real quick. Are you good? Are you guys good? Good? Okay.
What?
So we play telephone now. Have this color.
Yeah, just color, just the general ideas right there, there.
I'm sorry, I do not do it as a conference.
That's okay. You want to, or it's okay, you don't? Okay, cool. That looks great. That's perfect. Awesome. Okay. Very final step, and then we're done. While having this selected right here, we're gonna go to filter, blur, and then do the Gaussian blur. I'm gonna have that just up for just a second, just to make sure that everyone knows where it is. Okay, cool. And now you're not going to be able to see really very well. If you actually zoom out, you're going to be able to see with the areas that you selected. But for this tool, I just suggest turning it up to where it just looks fuzzy, because you don't want distinct areas between having a noisy and not having a noisy from the high pass filter. So once you have a good view like this looks pretty fuzzy, like how I was saying before. Yeah, just press OK. I'll keep this up, but after you press OK, you're done. That's your image. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, I know I've held you guys a little bit longer than the meeting time, but I'm here. You can also email me if you have any other questions. And yeah, thank you guys for coming. Awesome. Cool. I'll play the lo-fi music. That's my outro.